going on, YouTube? Coming at you from another Sasquatch structure. Look at that. Got the Y shape. Got some grass up here. I have not seen this yet. This is another one that Mike alerted me to, just in our recreation areas. Lucky for everybody, he gets out and exercises and rides his bike a lot, and he's able to recognize a lot of these for us. So thank you, Mike, for sending me out to this one. And we've seen builds on this particular group of logs before, but never this complex. And this also makes me wonder if they may build similar structures all across the country or all across the region at certain times of the year, because this roof-like structure, or a structure with a roof on it, I've seen numerous times now in the last couple of weeks at different locations on different rivers and different, miles away from each other. So it's not like it's just happening random. A little human inclusion to throw you off. I really like the stacking of that grass there. I know there's some tying in here. I do see this ribbon. That could have been the ribbon that Mike showed me in a picture that was wrapped around a bunch of leaves. So I don't know if we're gonna find that, but I did just see another example of tying as I was talking. This is very interesting. Some metal. Notice it's leaned up and touching the tree. Looks like somebody's geocache thing. I still don't think anybody built this to do a geocache. I've found geocaches in these Sasquatch areas before. Here we are with a double tie. That's interesting. Totally cool. The plausible denial with the human items in here. Art supplies, some art paper. But yeah, just another example of their building techniques. Almost gonna say nothing or some, same stuff you always see, but they're all kind of unique. But yeah, it appears that ribbon is no longer wrapped around. There's a blue inclusion of sorts that's tucked in there pretty good. Sorry, I just knocked it down, but guess that was a fan. I wonder if Sasquatch is smart enough to turn it on and off. Has a light on it too, it says, but I'm not seeing the light. Squatch will know that I was here. So, and this is kind of an area that I could obviously see from the parking lot. If I wanted to really pull up right there and take a look over here, I could. I thought about doing it last night, as a matter of fact, but this was kind of a long drive at 2 in the morning, and I was out taking a look through the thermal scope at a closer area. So just peeping the ground, seeing what else is around, you know. There's some charred wood. Dare I say some ash? Evidence of fire? I don't know. I don't know, that's pretty deep. But something could have burnt in there, I suppose. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? Makes you wonder. Sure makes you wonder if they're playing with fire. So yeah, it is what it is. Human items to throw you off as usual. And just gonna look and see what this green is. Okay, it's cardboard. I don't know, could this be belonging to some homeless people? I suppose so. I mean, that looks like it's sharpened, not by Sasquatch, presumably. Maybe using the scissors in the box. I don't know. I think Sasquatch put that together with the string and left it for him. I don't know. Kind of ironic, it's all on top of this other grass and stuff, you know. So probably Bigfoot collecting items from around the area here in the trash and then incorporating them into the structure, I would imagine. But it could be a good little hangout, you know what I mean, if you wanted some privacy or whatever the case would be. And I may try to come here at night and take a gander. But the thing is, when you come at night and you try to look at this structure here and you don't see anything, you're just going to think, well, they could be at any number of the structures that are down the river along here, because we find a lot of them down there. That's where a giant city was that the Rangers took down. I don't know if it was earlier this year, I think last summer. I forget. Some really amazing builds down there in an area on the corner of the river. So doesn't mean that they're gonna always be at this structure, because this is a big area. But this is kind of the extent of it, and yet actually if you go this way, I think we found, Mike and I have found a little bit more evidence, but all the way down the trail going south from here, there's unlimited area for them to go. It actually, you can follow this river all the way to the lake where we find most of the footprints, the very large lake where we find most of the footprints and a lot of the structures, and where I've made some of my best discoveries, where we found the Fibonacci sequence, just time after time, amazing findings. So it's all connected through the river system. So they could be anywhere, but I imagine there's different groups of them at different places. But so yeah, that's my thoughts on the matter. But it was pretty striking. Mike was sending me some really good pictures the other day. Now, talk about similarities within the Sasquatch. We're gonna duly note that there's a roof on this, and that we're kind of finding similar structures around. The fact that they built another structure in my last video that was built on a bunch of fallen cottonwoods like this and roofed up. Of course, they had a lot more bark. There's no bark left to build here, but it didn't stop them. But this, I have found this before, where they took red wax. I don't think I've published this video yet. They took red wax and they put it on the end of these sticks and they stuck them in the ground. And here we are seeing red on the tips. I know Mike's gonna know exactly what I'm talking about when he sees this. But so will you if I ever upload the video and post it. But that's ironic because that could be a representation of fire. Just saying, it could. I don't know that it is or not. But I'm wondering why they've repeated it if it were them that did it, because it would have some significant meaning to them. Now here's another interesting thing. Look at the animal on the back of that folder. That might be appealing to them as well. And you have to consider that they would recognize that animal as a raccoon, it looks like. But they would take an interest in that either way. So the more you hang out at these places and the more you just observe, the more you discover. Really a shame that I didn't get that ribbon wrapped up, but I did get to see it in a picture, so thank you, Michael, for sharing with everybody. But even that red on the end, you could say that follows the pattern. Red on the end. Possible. I don't know. Red on the end, though. Consider it. I think I'll put them all together as recognition. Just for them. Just in case they recognize, ooh, look what we found. Here's the one that we were looking for. Oh, Mike. See how see how that's wrapped around a leaf? Okay, that's cool. Could be anybody scratching that into there. Huh. I want them to know, though, that I was here. I want them to know that I recognize this stuff that they do. I want them to find it and say, hey, look, somebody took our thing and put it on our structure. Just in case. Who knows? They might know everything that happens. I don't know how smart these things are. But isn't it also very interesting to imagine clumps of hair? That could be telltale sign of eating, and might, you know, Peter Cottontail might have just lost a little fluff. I don't know. But you can see this up in the tree, the giant Y. Made note of that before. This is kind of what alerted me to this area when I initially investigated and rode my bike through here years ago. But I've pretty much honed in on all of their spots in the area. I mean, there's not many places I haven't explored, let's put it that way. There's really not many at all. There's one reservoir on the east side of town. Well, there's a couple out there, but some of them are so far out, there's not a whole lot of trees. But there's one very large one in particular that actually gets so flooded that there is massive acreage out there that you can't even access because there is shin-high water for thousands and thousands of feet. And so I've often thought that would be a great place to go. And I've looked there, but I haven't found a whole lot of evidence. Just a few structures and examples of them definitely being there. But it runs south out of town into Plum Creek, and Plum Creek is very famous for Bigfoot sightings. So it could be an area of exploration, and I've just not accessed the point where I'm finding the best evidence there. But I've ridden my bike around it numerous times and just found it difficult to research. But I have found some really cool stuff there. So I know they're there. They're here at all of the large reservoirs that have tree cover, and I think that's why they like the rivers, because of the availability of the bark and the trees and such. Give them cover, and you know, allows them to have building materials and food, of course, and everything else. So it just makes it ideal for them. But can't get over that grass roof. That is just that might be the coolest part of the entire structure right there. You know, but we're finding that a lot, finding that similarity a lot. The first little roof structure that Mike and I found that was replaced with a teepee recently had some grass tucked in there, and this has it here and all throughout. So just another cool Sasquatch spot, and I wanted to document this real quick in the form of just one video, easy to edit, you know, pardon me, just upload it and put it out there and let people see what they can see and think what they can think. So, you know, I say that roof is the coolest part, but that's kind of ironic too, you know, with that guy stuck in there. So anyway, thanks again, Mike, for alerting us to this, and I appreciate everybody watching. Take care. Bye.